Hello again. So welcome to the second part. In this part, I'm gonna discuss the program that we just written down, and should you have any questions, I will accept them, obviously. And basically, we're gonna discuss more about nested loops. So if you have any questions, you will need to raise your hand on the participant panel so I can see it. Please do not raise your hand on the camera because I'm not looking at your camera. I'm just looking at the Zoom. Your cameras are off to me. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand in the program. So once again, just to repeat what we have done, we have created a nested loop structure today, and we learned about nested loops. Nested loops, in this course, the ones that you're gonna see will always be for loop. I will never ever ask you a nested loop that is with do while or while loop. Although it is technically possible to write them, it is very rare that you will come across with a nested loop with while and do while. It's just very specific, certain cases. And if you are not going to be a software engineer, you won't see those circumstances often anyway. Apart from that, most of the nested loop structures that you deal with will be done with for loop because for loop is the most compact loop. You can see that it's all in one go loop. So everything is written in one line. This gives an edge when creating loop structures with nested. So we have two loops that usually go one another. You can create more than two loops, by the way. You can create a third one, fourth one, fifth one, whatsoever. But the most common practice you will come across is again two loops. And once again, in this course, I will never ask you more than two loops going into one another. It will always be basically two loops. So what does this mean? The outside loop is called the outer loop. So what it does is that it actually creates the rows for you, and the inner loops creates you the columns. So if you think like table-like structures, this will give you the rows, and this will give you the columns. So each time you execute it, it goes within the row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the same will happen in here, but the outcome will be different. Since you see this one only leaves a blank space with each row, where the other one will actually list the values themselves. So essentially, this is the loop that creates the values, and this one leaves the blank space. So when you run the program once again, you will see that each time the A value is increased, each time the A value is increased, it goes to a new line. So that's what it does. Each time the A value increases, which is, in here, you see the A value being increased, then it goes to a new line. And this is actually created by that. And this A multiplied by B is the result of every single equation. You see at first A was 1 and B was 1, so it gave 1. Then A stayed 1, but B increased. B became 2. So 1 times 2, 1 times 3, 1 times 4, 1 times 5. The result is 5. Then the A value increases, becomes 2. Then it becomes 2. 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4, 2 times 5. Then it becomes 3. 3 times 2, 3 times 3, and so on. Okay, essentially you realize that you follow a pattern, and hence how you execute it. So majority of the time these are given to you as either as output questions, or you are asked to create a specific shape to understand it in introduction to programming courses. This is the most common practice that you will come across in these specific course. Now before I go further with the subject, do you have any questions? Please raise your hand so I can see it. Yes, Abdul Rahman. You can talk, Abdul Rahman.
Hello, doctor.
Hello.
Is the lecture going to be available like after in a video?
Ask me again. Sorry.
Is this lecture going to be available like
Yes.
after? Uh,
Currently, I am recording this.
uh-huh.
Everything we talk right now is being recorded, and they are shared on Moodle. So if you go
Okay,
to
so
Moodle,
when are you going to upload it? Like,
as soon as this finishes, You see
Okay.
there's a section in here called you can also access the past online sessions held on Zoom. Did you see this link?
Yes.
You click on that one and you can actually watch past classes, the ones that I
Ah,
did before. Okay?
okay. Thank you very
This
much.
this will be uploaded there as well, so you will be able to watch it if you want to.
Okay. Clear. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so there are two videos, one that is the online classes, the other one that are done as individual sessions. Okay, so they are all listed at the beginning of the page. This is the YouTube channel, which I describe the course in general to everyone. And this is the other one is the online sessions, the ones that we are doing right now, and that will be recorded there. Okay,
Yes. Thank you very much. It's
you're
very clear.
welcome. Take care. Any other question? Anything you didn't understand about nested loop structures? Is everything clear? Okay, since nobody is asking questions, I guess everything is clear. So I'm gonna move on now. I'm gonna actually edit this part. So okay, I'm gonna go into the slides and look up the examples there and hopefully solve a question. So here you can see more examples being given to you. Like in this one, you have an outer loop and inner loop as well. It is possible to see in here that you have a similar structure. And what it does is that the I value starts from 0 this time, less than 5, and then it goes to a new line. And this time the J value starts 0 as well. So the first couple of numbers is actually 0 because 0 times 0 is obviously 0. And it goes to 3, and this one goes to 5. Immediately by seeing 5, you know that you have 5 different lines because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is not included because it is less than 5, as you can see. So it's not really included. So the numbers are actually 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that is the numbers. About this one, immediately you can tell the numbers that will change. 0, 1, 2. 3 is not included. So everything that you're gonna basically show will change in between 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the rows, because outer loop, as we said, is for rows. And everything in for the columns will change 0, 1, 2. So the maximum value you will get in here should be that. So that's how you deal with the nested loop structures. Okay, so there should be more examples here. Let's go down and try to solve. Like this one is an interesting one. Let's try to solve this. I'm gonna close now. Big blue button so that I don't get any more disturbances. So let's go back to the question. So write a complete C++ program which will display the following output using nested loops. This is a very interesting question. So in order to display this specific shape using the nested loop structures, you need to know the number of columns and the number of rows. So let's look at it up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 new rows. How about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So this means that initially you have 11 and initially you have 10. So the outer loop will start from 1 to 10, and the inner loop will start from 11. But each time you see it goes down. So this means that each time it goes one down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, where it stops. So this should be the structure to basically follow. How can we create something like this using the nested loop structures? So we will have to create a new file here. And I'm going to take up some of these common features. Yeah, just copy paste it. Maybe I should maximize my screen so you can see it better. Yes. I'm going to pull the panel and go in there and copy paste the return 0 part. So we will have two different values here, the integer I and j. And we know something about them just by looking at the shape. We know that this I value will go 1 to 10 and the j value is actually 11. So when we create our nested loop structure, we're going to put in there I equals to 1. I less than equals to 10. And I plus plus. How do I know this? Just by counting the number of stars, I know that it has 10 different rows. What about this one though? How can we do the side one? So we're going to come down, we're going to put \n because each time it goes to a new line, we want to leave a new line. And to count this, we're going to try a couple of times to see how this is going to work for us. Initially, as you can see from the number of stars, this starts by 11. And each time it goes, it actually decreases. So this means that it is 11 by default, and as long as it is greater than or equals to 2, each time the j value actually decreases instead of increasing. You see in the previous example, it was increasing, but now it is decreasing. So it is 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 is the place that it stops. So I'm going to say that as long as it is greater than or equals to 2, start from 11 and decrease it one by one. And what do? I display a star. Each time I want to basically display something, I'm just going to display a star. You can put it up here, just put a star there, and then close the top. Let's see how this is going to look now. So I'm going to run the application. Can name it as nested loop 2, just to see the application. And we need to make sure that these are increasing each time, because if you put it there, it will basically list every single value the same. So we made a mistake. What can we do? Now this number should decrease each time. How can we do this? So let's go back and revise our solution. It started from 1, it goes up to 10. So I'm going to go down, to the program, run it. So do we have 10 different rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So up to here, we are all good. The problem is with the decreasing. So this has to do something with the numbers that you have in here, with the numbers of the I value. So this should be basically in a state where as long as the value of your the stars should be as long as they are greater than the I value. The I value, as you can see, is changing automatically. So as the I value changes, the number of stars would also change. So this will start from 1, goes up to 10, but when we come here, we can say that we have 11 stars, and as long as they are there, we can display the number of stars. So if you actually run the application this time, you will see that the logic that we created worked. So you see this time around that the shape that we wanted to create is the same one. So there was one point that we didn't consider, that these stars should decrease each time. In order to make sure that the number of stars will decrease, you will have to make sure that somehow there is a connection between I and J values. So when you look at this example, you will see that in the first program that I wrote, this was a fixed number. So it was actually always keeping above 2. So it showed me something that didn't change. Hence why it was always showing me the same number of stars with each line. However, I wanted that number to change each time. As the I value change, and when I fix this to I, this value changed into the I, which was 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. And once the values are changed, the stars kept above it, so that it went down from 11, 10, 9, 8, and so forth. So basically, when you put a condition here for the for loop, you can actually define a condition that you can compare with the outer loop and come up with an answer, just like with this one. And as you can see, we have exactly the same thing. Any questions? Is it clear what I'm doing? I guess your awkward silence means yes. So I'm going to move on. When you want to talk to me, please raise your hand so I can see it on the participant panel and give you rights. Okay? Let's go and look another question. To solve this question, count the number of rows and columns in the shape. The rows are formed by the outer loop, whereas the columns are formed by the inner loop. So each time you should consider that the outer loop creates the structure for you for the outer loop, for the column rows, and the inner loop creates you the structure for the columns. So it is the inner loop that displays any kind of operation, such as putting a star. You can put a star, you can put a calculation there, you can put the dynamic multiplication, and so forth. But it is always the inner loop that has this calculation. Usually the role of the outer loop is to go to a new line and help out a limit, probably with the inner loop, okay? These kind of questions can be asked into two ways, such as the program code can be given to you. As you can see, the code can be given to you and the output can be asked, or the opposite. The output can be given to you and you might be asked to create certain shapes, like this one, for example. This is a very interesting question. It says that write a complete C++ program which would display the following output using nested loop structures. So you will need to come across with a shape like this and then another shape like that. How to do this? So basically you will need to count the number of rows and columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the first one. And how many stars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, 3, 2, 1. and then another one to create the shape. So let's go and try to solve it. I'm gonna go and create another nested loop example. Just gonna call it nested loops 3 and copy paste all of this and just will change the new loop structure. It is usually referred to as I and J because this is a common practice in C programming. You see I and J quite a lot. But if you want to, name your variables completely different other than I and J, since it's a very common practice to see them everywhere, you might get, annoyed to see them all the time. You can actually put different variable names. Okay. So what you could do here is that you can create the first for loop. So when we look up the shape, you can decide how many rows there will be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows for the first one. So we can say that the I value starts from 1 or 0, up to you which one to start. I'm going to start with 1, goes up to 6, 1 by 1. How do I know that it is 6? Because I count. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each time, remember, each time the outer loop will show you the number of rows, which means each line. So I'm going to do it in 2 goes, one from here, the other one is there. So this is one shape. This is actually another shape. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then with the columns themselves, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But each time they are increasing. So what you're going to do with the columns one, it should decrease each time. So when we're going to come back to the program, I'm just going to clean this. When we're going to come back to the program, we're going to create a new line. And we're going to create a for loop. This time the for loop will start from 6 and it will decrease. The decreasing number is actually as long as it is greater than and equals to the I value, because the I value always changes, so that as the I value changes, the J value will change. And now, once you have defined this, you can simply put the star and some space if you want to. So each time you put this, you will see a star. You will also realize that I didn't put brackets for the for loop, for the inner one, because it only has one line inside. So let's just run this to see the outcome. Right now, we managed to create the first shape. You can see that it is similar. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it goes like a triangle down there. You can see that. How about the second shape? How can we create the second one just underneath the first one? Well, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again, but this time you will realize that it is increasing, not decreasing. So in the first one, it was decreasing. Now it will increase. Each time the stars will increase. So the inner for loop will have to change a bit. So what you could do here is that we can close this and we can keep the same structure. Here you can do the same structure. I am going to put this one at the end so that I don't have any gap. And instead of saying that the J starts from 6, I will actually make sure that J starts from 1 and J is actually less than or equals to the one value, in this case the I value. So it will show 1 star, then 2 star, then 3 star, then 4 star, and so forth. So instead of decreasing it, I will actually increase it. So once you have compiled this and run it, I will maximize the shape, maybe make this screen a little bit smaller so we can see it all together. 20. We need to create the, just go back there. So the first one was the I value going to 6 and increasing 1 by 1. And then the next one, the J value is increasing 1 and starting from 1, sorry, and less than equals to I. So we have the I value, we have the J value. Just to show you this, I'm going to make this comment. Run the application, we can see that. Now we want this to be listed on the site like this. So how can we do this? Actually, going to copy paste it to the original place. So starting from 1 to 6, J value is 1, less than or equals to I, which is 1 again, and J value increases and shows the star. So I'm going to maximize this, go up a bit, and you'll see the shape being created there. You see, the shape is there. So if you actually open the slides, you will see the same shape. So this is the one that I did, the one that I just did right now, and this is the one that was given on the question. So I managed to do it. So that is the nested loops. You will have more questions here should you want to check out. There are some other shapes that I'm not going to solve every one of them. And it is your own duty to solve these exercises every week. And if you get stuck, you can talk to me and we can solve them perhaps in the next session or so forth. So if you go down there, there's also another question that says that write a program to show the multiplication table of numbers between 1 and 5, which we already did actually in the first exercise. So this one I already solved as the first exercise today. So by doing these exercises, I actually finished this chapter as well. Within this chapter, we covered the loop structures, loop such as while loop, for loop, and do while. We saw nested loops, we saw exercises as well. In the next chapter, I'm going to discuss about functions. Now, let's talk about a little bit of your midterm, which you're going to take up next week. So next week, I'm not going to do any lectures. Instead, you're going to take up your midterm. And in the midterm, you are only responsible to until to for and while loop, as well as do while. So the nested loops, which is the subject that I covered today, is not included into your midterm. It will be included into your second midterm. So I'm going to do a second midterm, which will be at the end of probably May, and you will see that in there. So all the videos that you currently uploaded on YouTube should be a part of the midterm exam, okay? Plus all the lecture notes and lab material that are available on Moodle is also part of the midterm, with the exceptions of the nested loops. So when you go to the slides, you will see that nested loops actually start from slide number 17. So up to slide number 17, here, you are responsible. So slides halfway through are still included in this chapter to your midterm, okay? So just to repeat again, these 4 chapters, with the exception of the very last one, up until slide number 14, all the lab sheets and the videos that we covered are all part of your midterm exam, okay? Now, I have 10 minutes more. If you want me to answer questions, please raise your hand and I can answer your questions. Do not ask me on chat or any other means. Please raise your hand on the participant panel so I can answer your questions. Any questions, guys? Hello, are you there?
Yeah, we are.
Yes, okay, talk. Norest, do you want to talk? Okay, seems like nobody wants to talk.
So,
Yes, go ahead.
yeah. So, no questions, sir.
I cannot hear what you say. You don't have a very good microphone, I guess.
So, yes, you are very understandable. No questions, sir.
What did you not understand?
I said the lesson was very understandable. No questions, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Norris, do you have any questions to ask?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, like I have two questions. I solved the case questions, right? But my code is saying no errors, but it's not working properly, like what it's supposed to do. So I don't know what I can do. Should I forward you the answer to you so that you
Which
can correct
question?
me?
The one that I just solved, this one?
No, the case switch is the case questions in the switch programs.
Okay, post it to the Moodle. There's an announcement. Post it there and I'll get back to you. There's a Moodle post page there. You can post it, I think. I will create you a post form here and you can post it, okay? I will create in here a post students questions and you will be able to go there and post it, because if you email to me and if somebody has the same problem, you know, they're not gonna learn anything from this. So it's better to ask questions in general. So I will create you a form in this section, okay, here.
Okay. Yes.
You will be
That's a
able
brilliant
to
idea.
see the form and post questions here, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
No, no.
Okay, good. All right, this is it for today then. Ali Reza has a question. Yes, Ali Reza. Yes, Ali Reza, I'm hearing you. You can talk. I guess he doesn't want to talk. Okay, yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Are we going to write a program for midterm, or is it just multiple choices?
It is multiple choice, but there will be some missing parts, like missing sections in the program. And I will ask you, for example, something like this, like, of course, these are not included in the midterm, but assume that in your in the midterm they are included. I will leave this area empty and type it like missing code here, something like missing code. And I will ask in the multiple choice question, what should be written there in order to generate, for example, the outcome in here. What should I type in there in order to see this outcome? Exactly the same thing. And I will offer you the options. A, J goes from 1 to 6. B, J goes from 6 to 1, and so forth. And you will pick up the right choice, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So that is the style. Because I have over 300 students, I cannot do this a classical exam now. I have no control over you, so it's better to do it multiple choice.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What chapters are included in the midterm?
I just told you, gentlemen, please don't come and ask me same questions again, okay? Listen to me very carefully when I talk, all right? I just told you, this is the last time I'm repeating it. All chapters, everything we covered in this course, every single video that is available on YouTube, okay? every single one of them that is available on YouTube, 11 videos included into your midterm. You are also responsible from lecture materials 1, 2, 3, 4, but the fourth one is not fully included because I just did it today. Okay, the nested loops are not included. So you are only responsible up until slide number 17, which is where the nested loop starts. So everything up to chapter slide number 17 is included. The loop structures, do while loop, and so forth. Nested loop starts at 17. So you can follow up this number there to see where it ends. 15, 16, you can see 17. So up to here, you are responsible. Nested loops are not included. Also, we provide you lab sheets every week to solve and come and ask me questions every week. These are also shared to you on your Moodle account, such as computer algorithm, control structures, loops. All these are also included, okay? So these material plus the videos are included. Right, I have 3 minutes now. I'm gonna stop. So I'm gonna accept last question. Yes. You have a question, Bokwe?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So I wish to ask if for this course we are going to have any project.
No project, just midterms.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming today. I have only 2 minutes left. I'm gonna stop this section now, and I will upload the video. You will find this video under online class archive. Okay, this is where you're gonna find all my videos about these online sessions. Okay, I will have to stop now because I only have 2 minutes left. I will also create a participation form. Should you want to go and post your questions there, I will try to get back to you. Thank you for coming today. I'll see you guys in the next video, in the next session. Take good care.